happening, people? It's your girl Minna. Welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is. Big up to everyone locked in. What is it? It's Thursday. I don't know why. I thought yesterday was Thursday, but today is Thursday. And of course, it's a match day for Manchester United against... I don't even know how to say the team's name, guys, because it's a bunch of letters. So if you don't know how to say the name, let me know. But it's another Europa League game for Manchester United. So you know we got to do match day content, preview, build up, whatever you want to call it. Talk about the game, predictions, formations, starters, etc., etc. And of course, you know, with January not that far away, I don't know if you have realized, but Ruben Amorim talk is, you know, quietening down a little bit now. But with January coming up, transfer talk is starting to heat up a little bit. So we're starting to hear a bit more about potential Manchester United targets. Alphonso Davies is a name that's popped up. Leroy Sane, former Manchester City player, that name has popped up. And of course, Viktor Gyökeres has popped up as well. But I don't think Manchester United will be able to buy anybody in the January transfer window. Jared Brantwaite as well, by the way, has popped up as well. That's another name that's popped up. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff. We're going to talk about some injury returns for Manchester United. Lenny Yoro is back. Kobbie Mainoo is expected to return in the coming weeks. And it's confirmed that Luke Shaw will not be available this week at all. I remember we were talking about it a couple of days ago about whether he'd be available or not, and he won't be. But we're going to talk about that. Big up to everyone in the chat, guys. You know the rules, man. You come in, you wipe your feet, you say hi to everyone in the chat, and you hit the like button. So make sure you hit the like button. Big up to Stu in the chat. Happy match day. Is it a happy match day? Is it a happy match day? That's the question. I don't know. Match days now feel... I'm not going to lie, guys. Match days feel different now that Erik ten Hag has gone. I mean, we're still not back to the highs of what Manchester United used to be. And I'm not going to lie, Ruud van Nistelrooy is not the most convincing. But it definitely feels, match day definitely feels slightly better than before. Big up to Broderick as well in the chat. Listen, let's start with injury talk and injury returns for Manchester United, because this kid is back for Manchester United in training. Lenny Yoro is back. He's been training with the first team this week. I anticipate, guys, I don't know what the best time scale would be for Lenny Yoro to maybe make his official Manchester United competitive debut, because if you don't remember, 2 games in pre-season and we never ever saw him again. So hopefully we'll be able to see him make his competitive debut sometime soon for Manchester United. And you know what, if Ruben Amorim is going to come in and kind of kick on with a back three immediately, this guy here sent the center of the center backs, yeah, the center of the center backs, central centre back, whatever you don't want to call it, that will be his best position. His athleticism, his pace, his ability to get the ball forward. Listen, if there's a few players that I'm excited for under Ruben Amorim, but he is probably one that I'm looking forward to as well. Sounds like Minna is missing Erik ten Hag. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Big up to Lil Yo-Yo in the chat. What are you saying, man? I hope you're good. Big up to Quartz. Big up. I hope you're doing well. Salam wa alaikum salam. Hope you're doing well, brother. Is Yoro not the right centre back? He can play both. He can play both. I don't know if United were to play a back three under Ruben Amorim, which, to be honest, I anticipate that they will. It'll be Leacher at left centre back. Who would be right sided? I would low-key prefer maybe De Ligt in the centre, just because of his physicality and, you know, he could hold down the fort. Like, if Harry Maguire was to play, I'd prefer Harry Maguire in the middle as well. I can imagine Lenny Yoro being on the right of a centre-back partnership, a free in the back, sorry. But I can also anticipate him in the middle. There's fans, I can't say this name, PAOK. Fans going mad around the city centre. I've seen videos circulating about of them. You know what game I'm looking forward to, guys? Galatasaray versus Spurs. That's going to be a good game, and that's kicking off in about an hour. So that will be a very interesting game. But one player that will not be returning back for at least the next week or so is Luke Shaw. I mean, did any of you guys actually think Luke Shaw was going to be available? Because I didn't. I did not think he would be available. But it's been kind of reported that he was trying to get fit for the Leicester game, but he will not be available for the Leicester game. Manchester United anticipate that Luke Shaw could potentially return to training after the international break. Guys, Luke Shaw has not played since the 16th of February. 16th of February. That's one day before my birthday. A lot has happened. I mean, it's more than 9 months. He hasn't played for Man United since February. And if there is any possible chance that he makes it all the way to February without playing for Manchester United, he needs to be on the sell list in the summer. Because I'm sorry, guys, I actually think we overlook what he did in the summer with England at the Euros. I actually think we overlook it way too much, because if that was any other player, the criticisms would have been so loud. It would have been so loud. And the fact that I don't know. This is a question to you guys. How do you lot feel about a player risking himself to play for the national team, albeit it's what, 5-6 games at the most? But by doing that, he's risking not playing for his team, his squad, his club. Because for me, that's a big red flag. That's absolutely a bit like, I can imagine he probably took so many painkillers and injections to be able to play if he truly has a big injury issue. But it's not good. I was talking about it, by the way, on Sky Sports on the weekend. I was talking about Luke Shaw, and I was saying that he's missed 30 plus games in 5 seasons, and he's been at United for 10 seasons, which means half of the time that he's been at United, he's missed 30 plus games due to injury. Last season, I think he missed 38 games. And this season, he's already missed about 19-20 games. Which means if he carries on, the fact that he hasn't played at all this season and in November, that's one thing. But if he carries on at that level, he will possibly miss more games than last season, which means at his time at Manchester United, he will probably have 6 out of 10 seasons that he's missed more than 30 games. That is absolutely ridiculous. And that's why I don't get people that want to hold on to the idea of him. Like I said, as a left-sided centre-back, he could be an option. But what good is an option if he's never available? It just makes no sense. You're better off just kind of cutting your losses. I'd risk injury if I got called up by Jamaica. Well, yeah. So if Jamaica were in the World Cup basically, and they get to the final, you're gonna risk injury. He messed his own recovery up as well. The clown, he can go for me. Undertow says Amorim should bring that kid who destroyed City yesterday. I think you mean the day before. I think you mean the day before. Yusuf says, I want to see Luke gone by January. Yeah, I think, I don't know about January. I'm not going to lie. There are reports suggesting Man United, if they do make any moves in the January window, it will likely be loans. I can't see us selling people in January just because the squad, guys, is not as stacked as we actually think it is. Because right now, Man United are missing about 7-ish players, 8 players to injury. Why would they want to risk selling a player in the January transfer window if there's no guarantee that they're going to sign another player? If there's no guarantee they're going to sign another player, then they are better off just doing that. Do we ever sell in January? Not really. United don't really do business in January. Of course, we could go back to buying Bruno nearly 5 years ago. What was it? Nearly 4 years ago, I think, in the January window. But they don't really buy like that. You know, last couple of years, it's been loans. You know, you go as far back as, you know, remember when we got Igalo. Selling people in January is not really a thing unless we're sending people on loan. So keep Anthony Minna. I think United should, well, firstly, he's out injured. I think he's actually back from injury. But I don't see United selling Anthony in January. I know there's going to be bare transfer rumours. And, you know, I'll cover it here with Daily Dose of Minna. You lot know I'll do daily streams during January. But we'll probably just be sitting here repeating ourselves over and over again. Another player that's expected to come back, which I'm actually looking forward to, is Kobbie Mainoo. Now, Man United, please do me a favor. Do not run this kid into the ground. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Now, if he comes back, I'm really interested to see, like, I know with Ruben Amorim, guys, we are just clutching at straws trying to figure out potentially what Man United are going to do under Amorim. But we don't know. We already saw Amorim saying in the press conference after the City game that he's can't play the way he plays at Sporting at United. And I actually expect him to say that, because when I watched that Sporting game, and I've watched Sporting a bit now, and I used to watch them a couple of seasons ago when he was in his 2nd year, I think. I watched Sporting and I think, look at, it's not just the technical ceiling of players. Even if players don't have the technical ceiling, the athleticism that they have, and the fitness that they have, and the ability to make the right decisions, that's a big part of that. And I don't think Amorim's going to get that out of Man United players immediately. I really don't think so. And I also think he's going to have to kind of scope out the Premier League and adapt accordingly game on game until he kind of figures out what his blueprint is. And once he gets the blueprint, then I expect Man United to really kind of hit the ground running. But for me, Kobbie Mainoo in particular, I'm looking forward to him coming back. Now, another player that is potentially returning back from injury in the next week is this guy. And similar to Luke Shaw, you know, we do kind of think, we do kind of have this conversation about whether he should stay at Manchester United or not. I think he will stay like the rest of the season. But man, if he, for the next, how long left of the season, guys? It's about 6 months. It's about 6 months left of the football season. So if he continues to be injured throughout the 6 months, say out of 6 months, how many games we got? I'm going to approximate. There might be, how many? We've got about 28 games left in the Prem. We've got about another, how much? 14, 15, 16. If we get to Europa League final, FA Cup, etc. We've got a good 45, 50 games left. If he's available for like 7 of those games, United have to get rid of him. Say Man United got 55 games left of the season, guys. By the way, it's just the estimation. Say United got 55 games. How many games does Mason Mount have to be fit and available for everybody to get off his back? That's what I want to know. Because for context, guys, he missed 18 games at Chelsea in 5 seasons. He's missed 40 at Manchester United in a season and less than a half, because it's not even halfway through the season. So 55 games left of the season. How many games are we saying? 30 games he has to be available for? 35, 40, or he has to be available for all of them? Does he have to just be available for maybe 10% of them? For me, it's not only being available, but for me, it's also about the value that you add to the team. Because it's one thing being available, and it's one thing just adding no value. You're just a dead weight that we're carrying through the team. So if he's available to be fit, and not only be fit, but he can actually contribute. I'm talking about, you know, being a factor or an element in Amorim's system. You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm talking about assists. I'm talking about getting goals. I'm talking about all of that kind of stuff. At least 35 games out of 55 minimum. I think that's reasonable, but given saying that, and again, we're just estimating, you know, if United make Europa League final, if they make FA Cup final, etc., Carabao, la. That means he can only miss 20 games. But he's already missed 20 games of the season. Oh, no, he hasn't missed 20 games of the season. He hasn't missed 20 games. But he's basically missed about 15. So, I don't know. Mason Mount's an interesting one, guys, because I remember, I don't know if I can find it. I remember Omar Barada did an interview. Omar Barada did an interview with the Financial Times before he left City. So it was around, he did it in like October times, and they released it in January. But by the time they released it, it's already been announced that he was joining Manchester City. Now, if you guys remember that particular period, one thing that stood out to me in that interview that he did was he was talking about the kind of system that they've built at Manchester City, not just recruitment, but he was talking about even when they recruit players and they bring players in, players have 2 years. I don't know if you lot realize, City don't F about. You got a couple years as a newbie to impress. Otherwise, if you keep progressing, they get rid of you. Look at City's outgoings. Look at City's outgoings. They've had so many outgoings in the team. And Omar Barada was basically saying in the interview that at City, they have 2-ish years, 2-3 seasons to kind of integrate into the team. There's none of the whole idea of being there for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, contract after contract. And by the time you leave, everybody's like, good riddance, that person's finally gone. And I think if Omar Barada is able to implement that at Manchester United now, we might be able, I think, to see better outcomes coming from players. Because you look at the players that Ruben Amorim is inheriting right now, yeah? Out of the whole 26-man squad, yeah, give or take 26 people, 7 of them are pre-Erik ten Hag, which means Erik ten Hag's stamp is predominantly on this team. And this is what I don't understand, by the way, guys, when people say, oh, players got another manager sacked. There's only 7 players there that were pre-Erik ten Hag. I'm talking about Lindelof, Maguire, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, like them guys there. Either players that came through the academy or were promoted by certain managers, or players that were brought. 7 people out of 26. Erik ten Hag's fingerprints is all over this team. All over this team. So this idea of, oh, I see a lot of people saying Ruben Amorim's going to have another rebuild. How? This is the rebuild. Are we not living in the rebuild right now? Or do we have to rebuild the rebuild? Like, does that make sense? Undertow, big up for the super chat. Thank you so much. Says City will end up paying millions to Prem teams. I saw that news suggesting that if City get found guilty, they're going to have to pay like fines to other teams, which is crazy to me, because why do they have to? I don't know. We all hate City, but I don't know, if they get found guilty of stuff, they should get, I think, relegated and get all their titles stripped from them. It's ruthlessness. Never let mediocrity settle in. I agree. Fillmore says, yes, Minna, but United is broke. We can't pay players on long contracts to leave. That's true. That's true. So players like Mason Mount, are you saying that we just have to hold on to them till his contract's till when? 2028, I think. His contract's till 2028, guys. Are we just meant to let him sit at Carrington? And the funny thing is with Mason Mount, even when he's, I don't know, maybe it's just something that I realized, but even when he's not in the matchday squad, I've never seen him at a game at Old Trafford. Whereas players who, like Leacher, for example, when he was out injured a lot last season, he was always at the game. He's already on fraud watch. Mount needs to be moved on if he has another injury this season. I agree. I'm giving it to the end of the season with Mason Mount. And then after that, the lights are bright. Now, guys, I saw this report, and I'm gonna take it with a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt. The source, and the reason why I'm saying I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, because of the source that is coming from. It's a source that I've seen before, Steve Bates, but I don't know. Like, I've never seen him be prolific in breaking news, but it suggested that there are multiple Spanish clubs keeping an eye on Garnacho's situation at Manchester United, and his stock is fast rising, including Real Madrid and Barcelona. Now, I personally, I look at Barcelona and Real Madrid and I think, well, unless you're buying him as a squad player, I don't know why you would buy him, because Barcelona got Lamine Yamal. They got Rafinha on the other side. Real Madrid got Vinicius. They've got Rodrigo. They got Valverde that can play out wide. They got Arda Güler. They got Endrick. They got Mbappe. I don't know about this idea about the Spanish teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid keeping an eye on him. Maybe is stories being planted out there. Not gonna lie, but. This leads to the next topic about strikers, because we're going to come to the conversation of strikers, because it's reported that Man United are looking to invest in another striker in the summer. What is the price tag that you would put on Garnacho if that's an asset that Manchester United would want to sell? If Manchester United wanted to sell Alejandro Garnacho, hypothetically speaking, before Garnacho fans come for me, what is the price tag that would make you think, yeah, United should take that? Are we talking like 50, 60, 70? Are we talking more than that? Are we talking less than that? Because I do feel like Man United need to buy a striker in the summer. I think the strikers market actually will be booming in the summer, because I don't think it would just be United looking to buy a striker. I think Arsenal will be looking to buy a striker. Chelsea will be looking to buy a striker, etc., etc. So Man United will be in fierce competition with other people. And the names that we see pop up is Viktor Gyökeres. I've seen Benjamin Sekou. Victor Osimhen, I don't think there's anything there, because I don't think he was ever a target for United. I think that's more Chelsea's kind of doing. But equally with saying that, Jonathan David, another guy that's getting goals in Champions League, 29, 30 years old. I don't even think he's actually that old, you know. I think Jonathan David's like 26. And he will actually be available on a free. Let me see what you guys are saying. Amorim will drop Casemiro, Anthony, maybe Rashford, De Ligt to bring 3 players from Benfica. Why Benfica? That's so random. Why Benfica? 30 million, I would be happy. 30 million is shooting yourself in the foot. I can't lie. A lot of the time now, I feel like transfers are not just based on what the player is doing at the time, but it's also on their potential. I think 30 million is a bit too low. But that is one kind of name that's popped up for 2 clubs, that has popped up. Now, reports coming out from Germany suggest that Manchester United are still in search. Man United are still in search of a number 8. I mean, who would have thought after we spent 60 million on a midfielder in the summer that there's still a void in the midfield? Now, personally, I think Kobbie Mainoo can play 8, but Manchester United, I think, will look, especially with Casemiro probably leaving in the summer, I think United will look to sign another midfielder. Now, Manchester United are in search of a number 8, and Leon Goretzka's situation is being closely monitored. However, as of now, he has no plans to leave Bayern Munich in January. What are we for Bayern Munich? Like, I'm not being funny, guys. Why do we buy so many players from Bayern Munich? Or is that just a recent thing because we've got good relations with them? I remember did we not buy Bastian Schweinsteiger? And also, he's not the only player from Bayern Munich that we're linked to, because we're also linked to Leroy Sané. Now, again, these are just reports coming out of Germany. And like I said, because January is approaching, transfer news is slowly starting to kind of heat up, because, you know, journalists are going to have to get their clicks somewhere. Is Leon not injury prone? Let's have a look at his injury record. Let's have a look at his injury record. Because what do you guys class? What do you guys class as injury prone? How many games do you have to miss per season to be classed as injury prone? So last season he missed 6 games. Season before that he missed 7 games. The season before that he missed 20 games. The season before that he missed 21 games, which was COVID. Back in 2014, 2015, he missed a whopping 79 games, but that was because he was out pretty much for the entirety of the season. Like, he was out pretty much the whole time. Now, if you're just going off of recent years, if we go off the last couple years, he hasn't missed any games this season yet. And we're in November, and last season he only missed 6, and the season before that we only missed 7. Now, like I said, Manchester United can absolutely probably afford to buy him. I can't imagine him costing too much money, but it's just a matter of realism. I'm glad you lot don't run United. If I'm even thinking of selling Garnacho, I'm starting at 100 million. 10 goals in the Prem is harder to get in comparison to the weaker European leagues. He's got 10 goals, like, but that's 10 goals in 3 seasons. Like, let's be real, that's 10 goals in 3 seasons. You got players scoring. You got people like Rafinha. Rafinha, by the way, guys, is the first player in football right now to have 20 goals assist contribution. And he's a wide player. He's got 12 goals, I think, and 10 assists so far. I don't think he would go for 100 million. When Viktor Gyökeres should, in my opinion, be going for like 80, 90, 100. And we're going to talk about him because the price tag that I'm seeing circulating on him is a bit of a madness. I don't think Garnacho would go for 100 million. Big up and salam, sister. Wa alaikum salam. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else you lot are saying. Let me see what else. Buying us, scamming us. Damn. Someone's not happy with that link. And let's get actually onto it, because Ruben Amorim spoke about the idea of poaching players from Sporting once he leaves. And he said, by the way, he would not poach. He respects the club, and he's not taking players from Sporting in January. But that didn't rule out the probable prospect of United signing players from Sporting in the summer. Now, again, reports coming out about Manchester United suggest that Man United are looking to sign an affordable striker in January. However, they could be forced to only make loan deals. That's the biggest thing. If Man United are looking to strengthen their squad in the January window, which they are, it will likely be loan deals. Now, we did this the other day where we were looking at the free agent market come summertime. Guys, there's a lot of players on the free agency market. Man United should absolutely be looking at that. Let's have a look at the free agent market. Let's look at strikers. Because I think the biggest one of them all, or the biggest name out of them all, is going to be Jonathan David. He's one player that is available, and he's quite young. He's only 24 years old. Then we got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, another striker that's available in the summer for free. We got Cristiano Ronaldo. He'll be 40 by then. Who'll be available as a free agent. And then we got players like Danny Ings, Lacazette, etc. Chris Wood. These are not names I would say. How do I say this? These are not names that I would have expect United to go and get as a striker. But I think out of all of those, if United are kind of forced for money, this guy said bring Ronaldo back. I swear, guys, you lot know I'm a Ronaldo fan. You lot absolutely know I'm a Ronaldo fan. I've got a Ronaldo shirt. Love the guy. Yeah, I got a lot of Ronaldo shirts, actually. But Al Nassr have not won a trophy since he went to Al Nassr. Before he joined, I'm pretty sure they won the cup, the Super Cup, or their version of the league. Not the League Cup, sorry, but like their version of like FA Cup, whatever. Like, since they went, since he went to Al Nassr, they've not won a trophy. Al Nassr fans right now they're in a meltdown because they are just throwing away games, etc., etc. Big up to Undertow with the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It says Victor, I think that's Gyökeres. Dear Monday, Amorim wants in Man United. What's the likelihood that Sporting will allow Amorim to leave and then kind of ransack the club? And Pote, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who that is. Let me Google him. Oh, Pedro. Okay, I didn't know that was his name. I genuinely did not know that was his name. I know him by his actual name, but I'm guessing that's probably a nickname. But didn't he play at Wolves? Yeah, he did play at Wolves, but he wasn't even there for that long. He didn't even start for them in their senior team. Yeah, it's a nickname. Yeah. I just realized once I googled it. This is his real name, Pedro Gonçalves. So many people turned on Ronaldo in recent years. I don't know, man. I feel like Ronaldo and LeBron James, guys. I'm sorry, this is very sidetracked, but Ronaldo and LeBron James for me remind me of each other. They just want to break. They just want to keep playing and playing. Sometimes just hang up the boots. You know, and I think maybe they're running away from something. You know, when they retire, they have to, get back to reality. And all they've known their entire life is being athletes from when they were kids. I saw a picture of Ruben Amorim. Let me see if I can find it on The Athletic. I saw a picture of Ruben Amorim and Ronaldo together in like a Portuguese camp as kids. Let me see if I can find the picture. Oh, I don't think here it is. Here's the picture. I couldn't believe this. LeBron still plays NBA minute. Don't do that. I mean, he's still performing in the NBA. You're talking to a Lakers fan here. I know that, but I'm just saying, it's like sometimes I'm like, don't you lot want to retire and just go and enjoy your life? Here it is, guys. Look at this picture from like I think it's like from the 90s or something, or the late 80s, or it's from like the 90s. Here's Ronaldo in this red box here, and this is Ruben Amorim. Do you know how it's so weird seeing stuff like this? Because it puts things into context for you. I'm like, firstly, they are the same age. We always forget that. We always forget that they are the same age. They're literally like, I think they're like a month apart, number one. But it's just funny how the new Manchester United manager, once upon a time, was playing with Ronaldo. Sporting players are better than the Ajax Donnies in terms of current progress in our team. I hear it. Pote is one of the best midfielders in League Portugal at the moment. I might have to keep watching him then, even after Amorim leaves. It just shows CR7's greatness and how young of a manager Amorim is. Yeah, it shows you both stuff. And also, I think people actually underappreciate like with what Ronaldo is doing, because, to be at that level for so long, like I don't care what people think about the Saudi League. That is still competitive football. Like, it's still competitive football at the end of the day to go there and, have to play to that level. Amorim is 9 days older. Damn. Who's in the red box on the right? I think that's a manager or someone. I can't remember. I read it in the article, but I can't remember. But this was basically, look, it's in Lisbon. This is the Football Association in Portugal organized a tournament. And it just so happened that they both played in the same team. Now, it's weird. It's actually, these kind of stuff that's crazy to think. Honestly, this kind of stuff puts everything, I think, into perspective. It puts everything into perspective. But anyway, let's get back to the transfer talk before we get into preview of the game. And whilst we're here, we just got just over 100. We got nearly 100 people here. So let's try get the likes up. Let's try get the likes up, guys. You guys know the rules here. You come in, be respectful in the chat to each other. You hit the like button. You say hi to everyone, and then you hit the like button, and then you get involved in the conversation in the chat as well. Manchester United reportedly are tracking. What are we becoming now again? We're back to being tracking FC, monitoring FC, but Man United are tracking Jared Branthwaite's situation ahead of the January transfer window. Now, talks are at a crossroad, if you want to call it. Reportedly, talks are at a crossroad between Everton and Jared Branthwaite, mainly because they cannot pay him what it is potentially that he wants. Now, if you lot want some context, I think his contract ends in 2027. So which is literally in 2 seasons. And they know that this is the best time to tie him down to a contract if they want to sell him in the future for maybe a bigger price. However, financially, Everton, I don't think, are in a situation to give him the money that he wants. And I don't know if you lot realize he hasn't really played. Jared Brantwaite this season, I don't think he's even played much. Let me go on transfer market quickly. I know he's been out injured for a little bit, but he's not. He's made 3 appearances in the Premier League, and he was obviously injured for quite a bit of it. If we look at, since he's come back from he's had a groin injury, by the way, guys. He's had a groin injury, and he returned back in September. Since then, he played 90 minutes against Crystal Palace. He was left out of the squad twice for Newcastle and Ipswich, played 4 minutes against Fulham and 2 minutes against Southampton. He's getting like the little minutes, 90 minutes, the board goes up for extra time. That's when he's coming on. Now, I do feel like maybe there's a situation there that maybe Man United could exploit. Big up to Undertow with the super chat, says Man U had success in buying Portugal's players. We've the history with Sporting, Nani. You talk about Ronaldo. I can't believe the conversation that's happening right now on social media about Nani. People act like Nani was a bum. It's unbelievable. But anyway, Nani, Bruno Fernandes. So is Harry not extending his contract? I don't think he is. It's a report. I spoke about it a couple of days ago on stream, but it was reported that Harry Maguire potentially will not renew his contract, or Man United will not look to renew his contract. He, however, wants to stay at Manchester United, wants to fight for his place, and doesn't want to leave. And Man United reportedly are happy to let him leave on a free. Now, this is really interesting to me because it looks like if Harry Maguire leaves as a free agent in the summer without even getting 1 year triggered on his contract with the potential to sell him, then maybe Man United are really going down a new kind of path under Ineos. Like, generally speaking, maybe they are going down a new path under Ineos, because I don't think I would have ever seen that happen historically. Normally Man United will let people run their contract down and then trigger their extension, and then let them go after that, after they use them for 1 more year, or maybe sell them. We saw them doing it with Wan-Bissaka. But if they let Harry Maguire leave, maybe it means they're going all in for Jared Brantwaite. And Dan Ashworth reportedly is a big fan of Jared Brantwaite. He thinks that he can play in the system that Ruben Amorim wants. We know he's good on the ball. We know he can play in a back 3. He can play in a back 4 as well. I think I'm warming up to the idea of Jared Brantwaite. Let me know you guys' thoughts about Jared Brantwaite. Do you guys want him, or would there be someone else that you'd rather go out and get? Amorim doesn't want no 5'8" defender at the back. Are you talking about Leacher? Are you talking about Leacher when you're saying that? Damn. Isn't Brantwaite injury prone? But what do we class as injury prone, guys? Guys, what do we like? Generally speaking, what do we class as injury prone? Let me go actually pull up his injury record as well on here, because I need to know what we class as injury prone. This season he's missed 8 games. Actually, more than that. Damn, he's missed 13 games this season to a groin injury. Last season he didn't miss any game. He was fit and available all of last season. Before that, he missed 11 games. Before that, it was 3. Before that, it was 15. So he hasn't really missed that many games. In kind of like, and here you go. Kadeem says it. Our resident Everton fan says it. Not really. It's only this season. Yeah, this season he's missed 13. Last season he did not miss 1 game to injury, so he was available all the time. And I think, like groin injuries, etc. He had groin surgery, by the way. He had groin surgery, which kind of explains him missing so many games, and he only became available towards the end of September. It doesn't matter what we want. It's all about what Amorim wants. But do you guys, okay, this is my question to you guys. Do you think that the way that Man United were approaching the summer transfer window, and with the names that we're kind of hearing right now, that it is with Amorim's interests kind of taking place? Because Jared Brantwaite isn't a name that's just popped up out of nowhere. And you have to kind of think about it. I don't know if you remember in the summer, but United were targeting 3 centre-backs in the summer. I remember at the time saying, why would United sign 3 centre-backs when we've already got like 4 at the club? Clearly, Manchester United, I think, were targeting centre-backs that can play in a back 3, that all have a specific kind of height a specific kind of physique. Like look at all the two centre backs that United have brought in Lenny Yoro and Matthias de Ligt. Look at Jared Bradway. Even look at the other centre backs that Manchester United were linked to. We were linked to Debo. We were linked to Mark Gahey. We were linked to Tapsoba. Again, Tapsoba, another player that can play in a back three. I can imagine absolutely Ineos are making moves and they're making decisions with Amorim's interests in mind. They wouldn't do something that isn't aligned with potentially what the manager wants to do. And that's just my opinion. 3 centre-backs makes sense because Maguire, Lindelof are gone soon. We might need 4. And that's kind of another question. Like, what's the likelihood United are going to buy 3 centre-backs this summer after they just bought 2 last summer? Because there's reports that United are interested in a striker. There's reports that United are interested in fullbacks. There's reports that Man United are interested in the midfield. I think this is going to be another interesting kind of summer transfer window under Ineos. Now, another name that's popped up, and this name has been around for a bit. I look at Real Madrid's situation. By the way, guys, how bad are Real Madrid this season? Like, they're actually defensively. People are blaming it all on Mbappe. And yes, Mbappe is missing loads of chances. Like, the guy cannot put the ball in the back of the net at all, right? He's missing a lot of chances. But defensively, they are leaking goals left, right, and center. Like, they cannot defend to save their life. And I actually thought Alphonso Davies, they wanted him last season, but they thought, we'll just wait for the end of his contract. I don't know if this is legit going to happen, because reportedly, and this is coming from Dean Jones, and I actually know him, so I'm going to say that he's a credible source because he's actually a very good reporter. Dean is saying that Alphonso Davies wants a signing on fee of around £10 million if he's to move to Manchester United. His wage demands are around 240k a week. Man United are keen on Davies, but Real Madrid are still the front runners to sign him. Now, if you take into consideration the fact that he's a free agent, would it be bad giving him 10 million as a signing on fee? Now, I don't know what usually I don't know what normally the signing on fee is for players, right, guys? I'm not gonna lie. But I do think it's an interesting target because I've said this all the time. If United are buying a wing back, or if Man United are going to play with a wing-back system, can we please get players who naturally play as wing-backs? Now, Alphonso Davies is an interesting one because he plays as a left winger sometimes for the Canada national team. He's very, very pacey, gets forward. He's not getting that P on Ineos. And this is, like I said, this is where Ineos are going to be kind of judged, because are they going to stick to what they kind of have been suggesting, i.e. the wage structure? The only person we've seen them really give big wages to is Bruno, and they gave him a little bumped up contract. They haven't given any of the summer signings that we brought. None of them really got big contracts. But you think about the season before that, Mason Mount was getting a big contract. Onana was getting a bit, like, people were getting big contracts. So if Ineos are going to stick to what they believe, we need Alphonso and Hakimi, we would be on fire. That would be too much pace and not enough defending. But if you got a back three, like, all you really need is people to kind of close the wide channels. And if you've got fast wing-backs to do that, it can happen. I don't think Hakimi will leave PSG, by the way. I don't think so. Davies scored Canada's only ever World Cup goal. So, yeah, I remember watching him. I remember watching him in the World Cup. And obviously, I say this all the time. United should have never let go of Alvaro Fernandez. I know some of you lot might think it's just the hype now about Alvaro Fernandez, right? But guys, I've been watching Alvaro Fernandez whilst he was at United in the academy. I was watching him, even not joking, guys. I was watching him at Preston North End. And by the way, Sky Sports have full coverage of the championship games, so you can watch it on the weekends. I was watching him, and I was like, this guy is so comfortable as a left wing back. He has to be an option for Manchester United when he goes back. And I was so upset. I was so upset when he didn't get not even one kind of competitive match after he came back from loan. And when it kind of became clear that they were going to let go of him, I thought, out of all the players that have gone on loan that Man United have gone on to get rid of, this is the one they're going to regret. And it's not a bad thing, because they've got a buyback clause of about 16 million, but they could have just saved that 16. It's not like they sold him for a big fee either, by the way. It's not like they didn't even sell him for like 20 million. So really, they are still making a loss, because they didn't sell him for much, and then they'd have to buy him back for 16 million. all United do is ruin players, I would stay away. But you look at also Man United's track record of selling. Like, one thing I've always said is United's loan system is a very interesting one, because the way that I see it, if they send out a player on loan, that player, I think Ahmad is probably the anomaly of recent. That player is never going to get into the first team. Like, Man United's loan system, and maybe this is a way that they can improve something. But I do feel like also when United see a player coming into the first team, there's no way they're sending them out on loan. They're going to find a way to integrate them into the first team. So when players end up going on loan, it's because there's not really a pathway into the first team. And you look at all the players that have gone on loan. Ethan Laird went on 7 loan spells before Manchester United eventually sold him. Hannibal Mejbri, another guy that's been on loan. Shola Shortile, who Man United are playing against today, another player that's been on loan. Alvaro Fernandez, another player that's been on loan. In recent years, a lot of Man United players have gone out on loan and then just kind of fallen into the system where they just come back, don't get any playing time. They still end up playing for the under-21s and then they leave. But I always said Alvaro Fernandez would be the one that they regret the most. Davies wants a 10 million signing on fee and 250 a week in wages. I have concerns over his injury record and the fact he'll be having transatlantic flights for international duty. Hence he'll miss. Well, what's the difference between him going on international duty and Lisandro Martinez? Canada is a 6-hour flight. I don't know how far it is from Manchester, but Canada is a 6-hour flight from the UK. So if he's going out to Canada or somewhere in the Americas, that's not the worst thing. People are going to what's it called, South America, on a 7, 8, 9-hour flight. But I understand the part about the injuries. I understand that, because for me, if you're gonna get a player that is a wing back, get someone who's a natural wing back. But if you're getting someone who's a natural wing back and also is struggling with injuries or has a kind of reoccurring injury issue, then that's a big problem, because then you're gonna end up having a player that kind of comes in 6 hours, 13 hours. No, Canada ain't 13 hours from here. I went to Canada. I swear it's like a 6.5-hour flight. Canada is not 6 hours from the UK. It's not 13 hours, sorry, guys, from the UK. It's not. I remember your loan watch on United View, not United Stand. But yeah, however, Davis is better. We need to improve our first 11. Do you actually think so? I don't know, man. Alphonso Davies is an interesting one. I personally, guys, maybe I'm just I have like defeatist mentality, right? I don't think United are going to beat Real Madrid for it, because I feel like with what is happening right now with Real Madrid, they are going to go out and sign madness in the summer. Like, they're going to assemble the Avengers. I still think that they should never have signed Mbappe. I still believe that they should have brought an actual number 9, because bringing in Mbappe to play number 9, it was never going to work for me. But they're going to go out and they're going to sign Alphonso Davies. They're going to bring in Trent, both of them on free agency, guys. They're going to maybe go and target a big centre-back in Europe. Imagine they go and target Saliba and they try to make a statement signing. Like, I actually think with the way that Real Madrid are right now, I know Florentino Perez he's at home biting his nails. He's pissed. He's like this. And after they just held 3. They held 3 from AC Milan, held 4 against their biggest rivals. They've conceded like I think it's like 18 goals this season so far. They have to. They absolutely have to. Not in January, but we definitely need a first team player, centre midfield, either controller or box to box. I think that's why Man United are linked to Goretzka. But then again, goes back to my point. Why are we only linked to players from Bayern Munich? What is this relationship that Man United have with Bayern Munich all of a sudden? Don't let the past hurt you. Davis will come to United. Trust, we can compete with Real Madrid. We just need to get into the Champions League, and there's not a team that's stopping us in the window. Troy says we can beat Madrid again. All of you guys actually think because we beat Lenny Yoro, we beat them to Lenny Yoro, that we could beat them to anybody else. You lot heard Joe, man. Listen, let's get to 100 likes at the minimum, guys. It really helps with the algorithm. If you are new here as well, welcome to the community. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. If you want to join the membership club, aka the Minions Gang, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content, and of course, you get to support the growth of the channel. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love. I'm in the middle, like I said, of building a new HQ setup that should be ready in the next like month or two. So big up to everybody. Let me see what you lot are saying. I heard they're getting Hakimi. No, I think they're going for Trent. I don't think they're going for Hakimi, but it's interesting that if they do get Trent, by the way, the most interesting for me is if Real Madrid get Trent and they try like play him in the center, like have him inverting centrally, right? You got Valverde, you've got Modric, who probably will retire at the end of the season, maybe. So maybe they need someone good on the ball, which is why I genuinely believe that they will end up going for Trent. And I don't think Trent is going to stay. Was Hakimi not a Madrid player once upon a time? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Skipper says Amorim will utilize our academy. Talking about academies, did any of you guys see the clips circulating of Sekou Kone's under-19 debut yesterday? I'm just saying, guys, I'm excited to see him play for Manchester United. He looks, and also, by the way, this is not my first time watching him because I watched him a lot during the World Cup, but seeing him in a Man United shirt is different. It's different. And listen, if that midfield partnership for the coming future is Maino and Kone, I like it. And also, he wears number 42 right now. I hope he keeps that number. I like untraditional numbers, guys. You know, like when Kobe Maino wearing number 39, Trent wears 66, Declan Rice, I can't even remember. Declan Rice wears 42, I think. I like unconventional numbers when players wear unconventional numbers. So I hope he keeps that. But if you guys did not see the clips circulating coming, we can watch them. Let me mute it before I get demonetized. But he just looks really good and natural on the ball. That's what I really like. He's good at kind of scanning. He's good at kind of breaking up play. He doesn't look as tall, if you guys think about it, but he gets around very mobile, very, very mobile on the pitch. And I think that's very important. This is his second game, by the way, for Manchester United, for the academy. This is the under-19s that he's playing for. He's debuted for the under-21s. Which is where he's going to play most of his football. But I've said it, guys. Don't be surprised if we see him with Man United in pre-season. Do not be surprised if we see him with Man United in pre-season. Look, he comes, he calls for the ball, picks it up, gets on his bike. Look at that. Look at that turn. He's looking sharp as well. I'm really optimistic. And like Skipper said here, Amorim will utilize the academy. He has to, because he's got academy kind of players to use, but not just him. Chido Obi Martin. And this is going to lead me to our conversation about strikers, guys, because I don't see why United are looking at signing new strikers when we got two already and we got Chido Obi Martin coming through into the first team. But you know, I feel like it's inevitable. I remember watching this guy at Coventry. What a baller he was. And you know what is funny, guys? How did he not work at Brighton? That is funny. And by the way, I don't know if anyone can confirm this to me, if anyone knows. Was Dan Ashworth at Brighton when Brighton sold him? Does anybody know that? I think Gyokeres' time did coincide with when Dan Ashworth was at Brighton. Yeah, okay, because he was there for 3 years. He went on loan 3 times before he ended up joining Coventry City. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was exposed to him during his time at Coventry City. That's when he came up on my radar, but that's because at that time I was watching a lot of Championship football. And I remember watching a game one time towards the latter stages of the season, and I was thinking, how is this guy in the Championship? Because he's too good. He is too good. Now, Manchester United, like many other players, like many other teams, by the way, are keeping an eye on him. Man United, reports suggest that Man United are among the clubs weighing up a move for him next summer. Arsenal and Chelsea are also interested. If you don't remember, I think Arsenal were linked to him this summer as well. Sporting are expecting bids around 60 million. Now, apparently, he had a release clause of 100 million, but when he decided to stay this season, him and the club have a gentleman's agreement. And a gentleman's agreement, essentially, is basically when they have an agreement, but it's not in writing. Like, he agreed to stay, and as a result, they're willing to waive his release clause, but sell him for a reasonable amount of money. And I think he's okay with it. By the way, I don't even think they paid that much for him. You know, I actually do not think they paid much for him to get him from Coventry. Let me see how much. Okay, 20, that's about 14 million pound they spent on him, which obviously for a player from the Championship is a lot. Now, I don't know if you guys listen to David Ornstein. He does a lot of podcasts, etc. But he was on Sky speaking about this earlier today, and he said a player that we're going to be talking about a lot this summer will be Viktor Gyökeres. Manchester United will be heavily linked to him, absolutely. But let's be realistic. We have no idea at this current point if Manchester United have the finances, if they're going to be able to attract him. And then other factors like where does he want to go? What other clubs will be in for him? What position Man United will be in? So there's a lot of factors that kind of, I think, potentially play in to Manchester United landing him. There's a lot of factors that play into it. Now, another report just on the last forward that Man United are linked to is this guy here. I don't want to say Man City reject because I don't think he's a Man City reject, but former Manchester City player Leroy Sané. Reportedly, Manchester United are interested in signing Leroy Sané and have already inquired about him. Arsenal have him on his list as well. Sané will wait for the negotiations with Bayern Munich before making a decision. But I'm not going to lie, guys. This is the one I'm more interested about. This is the one I'm more interested about. Yes or no? Just say yes or no. Should Man United make a move for Viktor Gyökeres in the summer? Given the idea that Manchester United have Rasmus Højlund, and I actually don't know why people say Rasmus Højlund is like the same profile as Gyökeres, number one. I think obviously Gyökeres is a lot more ahead in his development of Rasmus Højlund, but equally Man United have you lot might shoot me for this, but Man United have Joshua Zirkzee as well as a striker. Man United have Chido Obi Martin potentially coming through from the academy, and they have alternatives of players that can play through the middle like Marcus Rashford. Now, don't shoot me for that, guys. Don't shoot me for that. But I'm just saying, Man United have 3 potential strikers. Yeah, 3 potential strikers in Chido, in Zirkzee, in Rasmus. So why would United go out and spend another 50, 60, 70 million on a striker? By the way, yeah, this just shows you how different recruitment is. Because the summer that Manchester United brought Rasmus Højlund is the summer that Sporting brought Gyökeres from the English Championship. Imagine that. Man United could have went and brought him if they wanted to. Man United could have won and brought him. But it just shows you how different I think scouting is. Minna calling Zirkzee a striker is blasphemy. Come on. One thing I don't do, guys, I don't lie. I don't do blasphemy. Why do you not class Joshua Zirkzee is not your conventional striker, but he's still a striker, right? Like, you lot might think that he's not a number 9, and you're right. He's not a conventional number 9. But he's still a number 9. Now, do I think that his strongest suit is playing as a 9, kind of holding the back line and being like the final man on the centre-back partnership? No, I don't think so. But equally with saying that, I don't think we should write him off totally, because I do think a player like Joshua Zirkzee can play with another striker. Like, if Joshua Zirkzee was playing as a number 2, like two guys up front, but he's like the one behind the striker, I really think we would see more of Joshua Zirkzee's ability. And another thing is why I feel like we don't see what Joshua Zirkzee has to offer Manchester United is because Man United brought a player. I don't want to say a system player, but they brought a specific profile of player for a style of football that's not there. So how can you expect to kind of integrate that profile into your team when you do not have the profile? You know what it is like, guys, yeah? You don't know I like to give examples here on the channel. Any of you guys like to draw, yeah? Do you guys like to do freehand drawing with paint, or do you like to sketch something out and then color it in? This is like me trying to draw a picture. I'm not the best of drawers, guys. But it's like me trying to draw a picture. Say I'm trying to draw a portrait of Erik ten Hag. And instead of sketching him out first, and then going over it in color, I just get the paint straight away and bam, I'm trying to do it with the paint straight away. It's not going to work. It's not going to look nice. And I feel like that's the same thing with Joshua Zirkzee. We brought a specific profile of player with no kind of style, and we're trying to fit him in to this chaotic style that we have right now. When Man United got a style of football, and I hate the word style of football, but when Man United have kind of a specific philosophy implemented under Ruben Amorim, I promise you guys, you will probably see more of Joshua Zirkzee. You might not see him as a bagsman like a Viktor Gyökeres, but I just can't imagine Man United going out and spending another 60, 70 million. Like, I just don't know. Vic is a bagsman, but our team don't create like that. Even Amarim coming in needs to make our team a chance creation team before we talk about buying a new striker centre forward. That is the most reasonable answer that I've seen so far. I don't blame Zirkzee, says Ed. Ineos knew the club lacked goals and needed a 9 and decided to buy a Timo Firmino. Come on, team, that's so mean. He's not meant for the way United currently play. And that's the thing. Maybe they were looking too far ahead, you know, in preparation of, you know, potential managers to arrive. Now, this is one that I think we're going to hear a lot about. Like the next 6 months, guys, we're going to hear a lot about it. But I won't be surprised if we see him in the Premier League at some point. It's just a matter of when. Now, before we actually kind of wrap up, let's look at this, guys. Man United currently sit 22nd. 22nd in the Europa League. You know how crazy that is? 22nd is jokes. Out of how many is that? Is it out of like 32 or 34 or 36 or something like that? Now, obviously, we know the top 24 qualify. It's better for teams, same as the Champions League. It's better for teams to finish in the top 8 because they skip the round of 32. They go straight to the round of 16, whereas everybody else between 9 to 24 have to play an extra knockout round. Now, we remember what happened to United the last time we had to play an extra knockout round in Europa. We beat Barcelona and then we went on to lose to Sevilla in the next round. Whereas Sevilla, I think, got a bypass straight to that round. More games. It would be nice for United to finish in the top 8. I don't know how likely that is. Now, I saw a funny tweet today, by the way, guys, from Europa League. Europa League tweeted a picture of emblems of clubs. I think it was like 8 teams altogether. And they said these teams are still unbeaten in Europa League. And I forgot. Man United are unbeaten in Europa League, but we're unwinnable. Is unwinning? Unwinning, is that a word? Can I say that? If we're unbeaten, we're also unwinned because we haven't won a game. We've drawn 3 games in a row. Now, today, Man United have I want to say an easier matchup out of all. I think Man United have played the tougher fixtures. Absolutely, I think the tougher fixtures has been played. And they also are lucky because quite a few players are available. Christian Eriksen was doubtful. He's available as well. And it's really, for me, yeah, this is Van Nistelrooy's chance to leave a lasting impression on us. Because that Chelsea game on the weekend, I genuinely feel like Ruud van Nistelrooy just shut up shop with his final substitutions and just tried to see the game out for the draw. He didn't really go for the win. Now, for a team that haven't won in Europe in a year, for a team that have not won in Europe since Copenhagen last season, for a team that struggle in Europe under the previous manager, the best thing Ruud van Nistelrooy can do is go out and get a convincing win today. I'm talking 3-0, 4-0, like something like that. Now, we know a lot of players will be available. Garnacho will be available. Zirkzee is available. Højlund is available. Bruno is available. Rashford is available. Casemiro, Ugarte, our entire back four, Onana. I can anticipate that Ruud van Nistelrooy will go strong for the lineup. I definitely think he will go strong. Score prediction, Mina. I'm going 3-0. I'm going 3-0, but that's equally saying I don't know much about the opponent. Like, that's equally saying I do not know a lot about the opponent. I know Shola Shortire plays for them. Let me see. Here you go. This is not that long. This picture, guys, is not that long ago. And the reason why I remember it is because this kit is what's it called? This kit is the kit when Ronaldo came back. This is him and Kobbie Mainoo. If you want to read a very good interview, Shola Shortire was interviewed on The Athletic, where he talks about, people he's still in contact with, how he's very close friends with Kobbie Mainoo. Of course, they came through into the academy together, and now he'll be suiting up for the opponent today. Didn't Shortire just have his United debut the other day? That's like 3 years ago, I think now. I think he had his debut against Newcastle like nearly 3 years ago, because he went on loan nearly 2 seasons ago to Bolton. He was on loan, League One. He was at Bolton. Let's actually see what this team looks like. Aria says, I've gone 4-1 United. So even if you're basically saying no matter what, United will concede a goal. Like, no matter what happens, United will always concede a goal. Let's look at their most recent lineup that they've played in Europa League or something. Because by the way, they clearly are. They've lost a couple of weeks ago. Let me look at their most recent lineup. If there's anyone of familiarity, we're talking about. Okay, we're talking about Shola Shota. He don't even start for them, bro. He don't even start for them. I will keep an eye out for. They got a midfielder called Madi Kamara. Now, I'm only saying I'm going to keep an eye out for him because I've never seen a player that has a name called Kamara that's not good. Baba Rahman plays it. Rahman. What? Do you guys remember Baba Rahman that used to play for Leicester? I think he played for Leicester. He played for Chelsea. Did he play for Leicester? Am I making that up? No, he played for Chelsea. Yeah, he played for Chelsea. I don't know how he spent 8 years at Chelsea, but he was at Schalke. He went to Mallorca. He went to Reading. So that's their left back. If you're Ghanaian, you'll definitely know who I'm talking about. That is their left back that starts for them. Bakayoko plays for them. Lovren plays for them. I can't see Bakayoko in their most recent game. I'm just looking at their lineups from their most recent games. Let me look at their Europa League game that they played a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they got Bakayoko. He used to play for Chelsea as well. Is Lovren in Turkey now? No, he's in Greece. He's playing for the team that United are playing today. Has Shola Shota even played for them? He ain't even been on the bench. Maybe they might give him some minutes today. Bakayoko started for them in their most recent Europa League game against Victoria Pleasant. He started for them. How are they ahead of us in the Europa League? Guys, are they actually ahead of us in the Europa League? Because that would be very embarrassing. That would be very embarrassing if they're ahead of us. Are they ahead of us? No, they're not. No, they're not. Yes. Come on. They're 30th. And we're 22nd. Come on. They are above Nice, though. Another team that's owned by Ineos that sits 32nd. Like, I don't think... Okay, so it's 36. It's 36 people in the table, of course. And Nice sit in 32nd, guys. You know who sits in 34th? I love to see it. It's a team that's playing Ajax today. If you lot know, you know. Go check who's playing Ajax today. And they're sitting in 34th. They haven't even won a game yet. But yeah, these lot sit in 30th. United sit 22nd. I don't want to say it, guys, but we should win. United should absolutely win today. I don't want to put too much kind of emphasis on it because although it is Europa League, I'm equally thinking of the opponent. Like for me, the big games was Fenerbahce, it was Porto. These now are the games that United should be winning. But if you think back to FC20, that was a game that United should have won as well. But quickly, let's get predictions in. Before we wrap it up, predictions. Ooh. Somebody, Garnacho's telling someone off.
And work on your first. Garnacho, you got to pass back.
Nah, I need to, guys, I need to show you like this. Because I'm just scrolling Twitter and I just see this video here.
Today, yeah, please. Pass better today, score a goal, and work on your first touch as well, yeah?
Garnacho. Why are you not playing?
Why are you not playing? What? I just went on Twitter. That's the first video I see. Did he say to him, why you not playing? Nah, that's mad. I don't know who it is, but I just saw the video. Oh shit, I just clicked off it by accident. I don't know who it is, guys, but I just saw the video. Somebody reposted it. He said oh man. Anyways, let's get back to I hope he scores now. I actually hope he scores now. But let's go back to predictions, guys. Let's get back to the predictions, guys. Let's get back to the predictions. Man United, I'm gonna say I'm saying 3-0. I'm saying 3-0 United. And the only reason I'm saying that is because Ruud van Nistelrooy, I need a good performance. Like Man United ain't won in Europe for a year. Please, can you be the first manager that gets us a win in Europe, even though it's Europa League? Number one. Number two, I'm hoping it's going to be a strong squad, even though we got Leicester on the weekend, but also international breaks coming up. So that's another thing, which is why I think United will go strong. Just a side note quickly, guys. Chelsea are playing a team called Noah FC. I couldn't stop laughing. When I was looking at the fixture list today, I saw Chelsea. It said Chelsea versus FC Noah. As in Noah's Ark. Like, as in Noah's Ark. And then I had to go and look that team up. That team was created in 2017. Now, this team has the chance to do something very, very humiliating today. But I should be quiet, because the worst thing that could actually happen is Man United lose to a team called PAOK. So let me actually not talk about Chelsea playing against a team called FC Noah. Cole Palmer ain't playing. He's not even in them team, the team that was submitted to Europa League. Not even Europa League, Conference League, sorry. He's not even in that team. But he's also out injured. Apparently he hasn't trained all week for Chelsea after that Licha injury. Minna, would you take a scrappy goal win tonight? A win is a win. A win's a win. A win's a win. Absolutely. Especially in, also, guys, we are in this kind of like, what's the like, we're in this, like, I don't know how to describe it, but when you're in an interim period, it's like the period of uncertainty. Like, you're waiting for, you know, the official business to start, you know? It's like you're waiting for the official business to start, but, you know, we're not there yet. Everyone's waiting for Ruben Amorim to start Monday, but we still got about a couple of days to get there. So I will absolutely take a scrappy win, because a win is a win, guys. We couldn't even do it under Erik ten Hag in the Champions League. We couldn't do it in Europa League. So I will absolutely take a scrappy win. 4 more sleeps. Yeah, facts. 4 more sleeps. 3 if you choose not to sleep on Sunday night and you wait until, you know, he reports to Carrington on the first day. But listen, big up to everyone. Just quickly before we wrap it up, get your predictions in the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Manchester United versus, I'm going to keep saying PAOK because I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to be like Saeed and be like PAK or PAOK. But give me your predictions. I've said 3-0 United. I'd love for Rashford to get a goal. I'd love for Højlund to get a goal, and I'd like Garnacho to get a goal. Everyone in United's front line get a goal. Bruno gets an assist for 1. Maybe Casemiro gets an assist, and maybe like a Dalot or Mazraoui assist. But I want to see everyone on the I want to see the front line on the score sheet. That's it, for confidence. And you know what, guys? Look at it. Everybody is saying a win. Everyone is saying a win. A couple of you lot saying we're going to concede. But everyone in the chat is pretty much saying that United are going to win, which is very reassuring. Because I promise you guys, if Erik ten Hag was still here, we would all be sitting saying, oh, we might scrape a draw. We might scrape a draw. Mina, how do you feel? How about you think about joining Reckless United? You know what? Yesterday, I was very upset, right? Yesterday, I was... I still need to talk to KG about it. I was upset because I was dropped from my position. Yeah? Not even an option to play 2 up top. I'm the most prolific goal scorer. I had like 12 goals in like 5 games. I had back-to-back hat tricks, but I was dropped. I went CDM. I played CDM for 3 games. Yeah, I played CDM for 3 games. I wanted to play in the 10. I didn't even get a whole game in the 10 before I was told that I had to go back to CDM. Halfway through the game, I was told, yo, go back to CDM. I'm not working in CDM, so I need to go in the 10, and you need to go back. So I said, okay, cool. And then I played CDM for the rest of the stream. You guys saw it. And then I was sitting in bed and I was really, really thinking about it, guys. I said, I was not even on the thumbnail. Saeed came for his first game in the team and he went on the thumbnail. Now let's go have a look. Actually, I was meant to do this in my own time, guys, but because we're here, we might as well do it now. Let's have a look at all the other streams for pro clubs, and let me see if I was ever on the thumbnail. I think I might have been on the thumbnail maybe once. Was I ever? I was on the thumbnail once when we started a new club. That was 2 weeks ago. And then bam, Saeed joins the club. I get taken off the thumbnail. He gets put on the thumbnail. He even got a photoshopped picture of himself. Me, I just got the standard picture of me standing like this. He got a photoshopped picture of him on a Manchester United shirt. I didn't even get that, guys. He didn't even lighten up my face or anything, guys. Let me share my screen. I'm blending in with the background of EAFC right now, guys. I'm blending in with the background. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. Come on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's somewhere here. No, did I pass it? Yeah, it's somewhere here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I am blending in with the background because it's brown. I didn't even get a little face lightening. Not even just make me like stand out a bit more. I'm wearing all black, so I blend in already. I was just very upset yesterday. I was very, very upset. I was thinking, how can I be demoted as the top goal scorer in the club? Now my stats look shit. My stats before it was saying 7 games, 15 goals. But then I played 5 games as a CDM and I got 1 assist. So now my goals and my games played ratio is closer to each other. Is that a violation, guys? Is that a violation? Like, honest question. Should I consider taking my talents elsewhere? Because I was thinking about it. I was really, really thinking about it. But then I was thinking about all the vulgar language that comes out of Joe's mouth. Joe was too vulgar. I was rattled yesterday. Dead ass. I'm not even joking. I was absolutely rattled. Because I was already angry about playing CDM. But then you made me even more angry. So I've decided to take a break from pro clubs for the foreseeable future until I get my head right. I need to get in the right mind space. Maybe I'm going to go back and play pro clubs with my actual real life friends rather than my virtual friends. I'm going to go where I'm appreciated. You know, when I play with my friends, guys, it's not even a question. If I come online and there's someone playing up top, they say, Mina's here. Whoever's up front, come out of that spot. But then when I'm playing here with, the delegation, I'm being told to accommodate for someone that's scoring 1 goal a game. Imagine having someone scoring 1 goal a game versus someone that's scoring 3-4 goals a game. Who would you take? Because I know who I'm taking. And that's no insult to Saeed in it, because I have no problem with him. And then on top of that, they did Uncle dirty. The manager that brought me into the team, they did him dirty. And then Charles, shout out to Charles, but Charles tried to say that I had to audition. And when I scored my first goal in 2 minutes, he said, that's my striker. I am not your striker. You did not bring me into the team. Anyways, guys, listen. I'm going to be in cheer like Ahmad. Listen, I feel like I just one day, I was going to say something, but the jokes might just write itself. I'm going to do something in the community, yeah, on stream one day. That's all I'm saying. KG don't know what's coming. The community don't know what's coming. The delegation don't know what's coming. And it's not me joining. I mean, are you allowed to eat lunch with the team? I don't even think I'm allowed to do that, guys. I don't even think I'm allowed to do that. If you don't feel appreciated, quit. And you know what, Mona? You are right. I'm going to quit. I am absolutely going to quit. But big up to everyone. Listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe as well. I'll be back tomorrow, inshallah, daily dose of Mina, and I'll be back after the game as well. Hopefully we've got something positive to talk about. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. And come on, United. I'm going 3-0, man. You know what it is, guys. I'm out. Peace.